I don't think it's particularly controversial to say that a lot of people feel like the Galaxy Z Fold line has gotten a little bit stale. Maybe they've not been pushing the envelope quite the way that we would all hope that they would be. In fact, when the Z Fold 5 was coming out, I was trying to decide if I was going to cover that device or not. Now, I did have some financial things going on, some very expensive vet bills that was going to make it very difficult to justify making that purchase. Money had to be diverted elsewhere, but there were other things weighing in on my mind as well. We knew that not only was the Pixel Fold now available, we also had something called the OnePlus Open coming very, very soon as well. So soon there would be so much competition around that Z Fold device that absolutely had to play into my calculus. At the end of the day, I opted to go with the Pixel Fold and the OnePlus Open and forego the Z Fold 5 because my Z Fold 4 is pretty darn similar to that Z Fold 5. I just couldn't justify that expense to make that upgrade, obviously to cover here. If I'm a regular consumer, I probably didn't buy either one of the other foldable devices. I probably stuck with the Z Fold, maybe sold and got the Pixel Fold or something like that. But as a content creator who covers these things, there just wasn't enough there with the Fold 5 to, like I said, justify making that expenditure. So now that we know exactly how good these three devices are, the Pixel Fold, the Fold 5, and the OnePlus Open, we're going to have another cycle of these in a little less than a year. Now, right, we have a Pixel Fold 2, a Z Fold 6, and OnePlus Open 2. So what is going to have to change? What improvements or changes do I need to see from the Z Fold 6 for me to slide it in and potentially remove one of those other two foldables? I can't possibly buy all three in the same year. That would just be absolute madness. Buying two is ridiculous. Buying three is out of the question. So what do I need to see for that Z Fold 6 to be a device I'm going to purchase? The first thing, this is my personal preference. I know some people like the way that the Z Fold line has been set up. I do not. We need a new aspect ratio for the screens. And of course, I'm talking about the cover display, but if you make the cover display wider, you're also going to be making everything wider because that's just how that works. Personally, they need to be minimum where the OnePlus Open is. This device is just more comfortable for me to use. It's more like a normal phone. This phone does not give you a downgraded experience on the cover display and then a good experience on the tablet. They should literally just do like exactly this. That's like they should just copy this almost exactly, because what you get, like I said, is a normal phone experience here. And then when you're in the actual tablet display, it's wide enough that when you split screen two applications, they're both appropriately wide. You don't have to rotate the thing in order for your split screen apps to be not super skinny, strange looking applications that personally I just don't want to use. Now, I know, like I said, some people like how skinny it is. It lets them hold on to it better. For me, it's just a total non-starter for me. I can get by with it. I can get used to it. But when the Pixel Fold exists, which to me has the perfect aspect ratio, and the OnePlus Open exists, which is basically a normal phone aspect ratio, the Z Fold becomes, like I said, kind of a non-starter, because why would I buy something that I can get by with when I have two other options that I actually just like and are happy with? I probably wouldn't. So the next thing I need to see pretty drastically improved is the camera system. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think that the current cameras on the Z Fold devices are bad. I actually think that they are quite good. But the OnePlus Open has raised the game. The cameras on this thing are absolutely excellent. And so the days where we can say, yes, the cameras are downgraded a bit, but it's a foldable, that's how that typically works, those days are gone because of OnePlus. This has a camera setup that maybe you saw in my prior video, goes blow for blow with something like the S23 Ultra, even in zoom. This has changed the game. So we're going to have to get flagship cameras from the Fold 6 to really pull me in that direction to make me want to go grab that device. Again, the cameras aren't bad, but we're in a world now where foldables have flagship cameras in the United States. Samsung needs to keep up. We need a significant upgrade to the camera setup, in particular in video and in zoom, where the 3x optical is just a million miles behind where they need to be. The Pixel Fold has 5x. This has 3x, but really it's like a 6x because of the resolution and the size of the sensor. It's pretty much lossless at 6x. And like I said earlier, it goes toe-to-toe with the 10x on the S23 Ultra. We need a big upgrade in the cameras. And something else I would love to see is a sort of reimagining of the multitasking system. Again, I'm going to go back to this device because this has been such a game changer. Open Canvas is really, really interesting, and it is sort of a paradigm shift for me in terms of multitasking on Android. The fact that you can have full screen apps that can be quickly slid around to, triage, to jump between apps very, very quickly. Let's be honest. Multitasking is not doing two things at once. You can't really do two things at once. You can switch, you can vacillate between two things very, very quickly, right? And having two apps side by side makes that very easy, but maybe they're scrunched down, and maybe it's an app that you want to be switching back and forth between that does much better when it is as large as your tablet screen. Well, if you are using Open Canvas, you can have an app full screen, and then with one tap, you're in another app, and then maybe two other apps within one tap, right? So you're jumping between everything super, super radically. It works brilliantly well. It makes a ton of sense to me. And personally, I would just love to see Samsung explore the multitasking space, because what they've done so far is just say, hey, we split the screen into multiple apps, and we're going to add the ability to have a whole bunch of apps split screen. And that's cool and all. That's fine. But what you end up with is typically one pretty big app, two tiny apps in two squares, and then like a floating app, which is also pretty small. And to me, that just isn't all that useful. What OnePlus is doing just makes more sense to me. I don't know what Samsung can come up with, but I'd love to see them try and do something. Maybe it's as simple as putting the DeX interface directly on the tablet. Let us run DeX on the device. Give us something that can compete in multitasking, a revolutionary new way to do multitasking on our tablet, similar to what OnePlus just did. Now, the last one is something that I would still love to see, even if I don't think it's something that would necessarily be an everyday thing for me. It might be enough to sort of trick me a little bit. I want to see the pin effectively built into the device. If not built in, it needs to be in a case that is super, super slim, something magic that has that pin with me at all times, so that maybe, just maybe, I will actually pull the thing out and use it from time to time. Lord knows my handwriting is abysmal, but perhaps if the pin is there, I might use it a little bit more. There was a case for the Fold 4, but it was just bulky, and the pin kind of stuck out of the back of it. It just wasn't a good look. It just was not comfortable. It made the phone feel so big. We need a slimline version of having that pin with the Fold 6 at all times. It is well past time. The Fold is like the perfect device to use a stylus with as far as phones, because it opens up into a tablet. I never really understood the practicality of the Note. Maybe it's because I have really bad fine motor skills with writing. The screen of the Note just seemed too small to really make good use of a pen. But a tablet, a Fold, I was like, that makes perfect sense. We have the pen, build it in. Give us a way to carry it with us all the time, and it will be the ultimate S Pen device. So guys, those are sort of the top things that would make me gravitate back towards the Fold 6 to consider purchasing it to cover here on this channel. What I would love to hear from you people is, what do you think? What items do you need? What boxes do you need checked off for you to want to make that purchase coming, whatever, next August or whatever it might be? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you on the next one, and until next time, stay nerdy.